I'm going to go take a shower and get some stuff done around here, but I just want to add some key notes that when you're dating the village bicycle, usually you can get a hold of them really quick while they're at work. For some reason, while they are working, you can get a hold of them like as fast as shit. But on their weekends, it's like getting winning the lottery is what I used to think of one boyfriend. I had a boyfriend that always he said he went to get this is what happened. The girl contacted me and said the reason why he didn't make our date wasn't because he was late, is because she had a hookup with him up on the hill and they had rain and they got stuck on the hill because of the fact that they were done busy doing their deed, and she had said that he's done that before. So when you can't get a hold of somebody and they don't text you back, and it's like not just an hour or two, like 5 hours later, you might want to consider that they have other women on the side. Mm. Another thing I've noticed is, and this is something a friend of mine used to say, that she held the reason why she didn't want to have sex with her one boyfriend is because they look for something else. They're like, another, person to, have in bed or whatever. And that's what she considered, that way. So if you think you're going with is when they are with you and they get a text and they leave, that's another thing, that they're I rather know out front, are you dating other women? Then I know, okay, you're getting a text from another woman. So another thing is that the romance gets real. It went from hot and steamy yesterday, and today it's like cold as ice. And that's they had you, and now they're on a different way to go. So in that sense, that's just where it's going. As for the main village bicycles that I have dealt with, they're all, they all have been men. The main thing I've noticed is they cool it real quick. You know, they don't want to talk to you. They find excuses so they don't even be near you. And that's an idea that either you should, break off the relationship or just move on and just consider that a learning lesson not to deal with that person. But when you start, it all starts with the texting. When they tell you that you cannot text them for everything or whatever, then that is they don't want their girl to think that you're talking with them because they have another person there. And I have a friend, I'm afraid to even call him. And I'm like, well, I'll just tell him, I don't even leave messages or nothing. Um, I've come to the point, uh, I'm was going to block this person and think, well, if I block them, I could just make excuses like he does me, because I think that's what he does. He blocks. So I'm like thinking, well, that will be next week. I think I'll block him next week. That's what I'll do. But this week, I'm just, it's certain people that you deal with that you're like, okay. So here I am. The one thing that you'll notice is when you text them, that's the biggest thing you'll notice. If you text them and within 15 to 20 minutes you receive a text back, or you receive it 2 hours later when they're on their break. Hey, they're paying attention to you. A lot of times, a friend of mine says he would go to the bathroom and text all his, he would text his girl back, and he said, you know, he couldn't go to the bathroom for about an hour. And when he texted her back, she got real, so who you texting? You? And he said, oh, that's another thing. If they think that you have another person and they're trying to put it on you, and say you text them and 5 hours later they text you back, why are you texting me so much? And you go, no, I only text you once. And then 2 hours later I said, are you okay? And then he went all crazy. And that's a keynote. He was with another woman, and you should just move on. You're not going to change them. You're not going to make them a one woman man. They got to do it on their own. And if they're having too much fun, it's never going to end. So you just consider your losses and your feelings, and know that it's just one of those things. It's like, sometimes what gets me is when you don't break it off and the other person breaks it off, and they don't move on and don't want to see you happy. And that's just sad. I was happy with a person, and it's just weird, you know? So, you know. So, anyway, I try to keep my texts up with just friends in general. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, wow, I'm dealing with this, and I had a friend who, when you deal with anything to deal with text, when you deal with anything to deal with any kind of communication that can be seen, and they get all freaky out, that they're playing the field, that they're the village bicycle, and you don't want that. If you're not into that kind of thing. If you're into the monogamous relationship, that's what I'm into, then that's what you will. You gotta, put out that vibe. And I maybe have not put out the right vibe. So I'm gonna put out the vibe that I just want one person, and that's it. You know, anytime you deal with somebody and they get upset about your text and what you text, then you're dealing with somebody who has more than one lover, and you don't want to, when they start saying only phone calls, and that you're better off. I always, what I say to people and what I do are going to be different. I'll go, yeah, I'll call you. No, I won't call you. You won't hear a call. It just sounds nice and personable, like I give a shit. I do care, but not that much. So I'm like, okay. As for dealing with life in general, when you're dealing with somebody who's a village bicycle, they can have between 10 to 15 different partners. And if they have like something bad, that's if they have a venereal disease, everyone's getting it. Yeah, so it's not very conclusive on that. I had a friend who said, oh, I was a player, but I always wore a rubber. He goes, man, those venereal diseases really get you. And he told me that he had a venereal disease where his private parts were dripping, and he just said, man, it just made him feel tired. He thought that it was him being excited, and it was and it wasn't. It was his his private parts were, he said that he had a chlamydia or something like that, and it took him a couple weeks to get rid of it, and that's when he started wearing a rubber until he found out if his significant other was with just him. And that's why a lot of men now are getting smart, because you don't want to have venereal diseases and stuff. And that's another way to find out is number two, getting a venereal disease from your boyfriend or significant other. You're going to find out that, yeah, especially if you haven't been playing the field and he has. Yeah. And my friend's, a co-worker's sister told me the whole story about how she got a venereal disease from her husband, who wanted to prove that he got it from the toilet. And that was one of the things that when she divorced her husband, because they had to prove the fact that he had infidelity, and being the fact that she was pregnant at the time, and she had made a case and had everything on video. So she had not gone anywhere for a week and showed that she stayed at her house. And then when she got had relations with her husband and showed her, she expected him to give her something, which he usually did, and she wanted to make a great statement. And because she had everything out in the open pretty much, that she got her divorce, she actually she said she also got venereal warts, which yeah, it's not a great thing, but she said she got a lot of money. The family is in oil or pharmaceuticals, one or the other. They had money always coming in, so she gets a part of that money now. And yeah, she said that's how she got her money, and she still works. And I asked her why, and she goes, I work part-time so I can not lose touch of reality and people. And I said, wow, because she got a big chunk of money. She didn't need to work, but she was looking to own businesses and do that. But she said, that's how you find out when your significant other is messing around, is getting a venereal disease. Big number two. All right, that's a big number two. So number one in village bike, I just put bike, is I would say, yeah, that's a big, is getting a hold of in their weekend. So that's number one. Number two, so, when you have that. All right. All right. So I got number two, which is number two is getting VD from the village bike. Okay. So when you get that, a lot of times they will blame you and say it's you. And if you're doing the same thing, you really shouldn't, bitch. Okay. If you're getting laid by your boss and you think it's a secret, trust me, it's not a secret. Everybody knows. So getting VD from the village bike is another form. Number three, your it went from hot and wonderful. The weather in your relationship goes south. It gets real cold. They usually blame something. It's their job. It's their this. They can't have a relationship. All kinds of shit. They should have thought of that before they went to bed with you and promised sweet nothings and gave you exactly that sweet nothings. God dang, my zit healed, but it looks all red. Treats you as the bad guy person. Okay, because they have more than one person, they want to have someone as the perpetrator. So number three is the weather relationship goes south real quick, less than 24 hours, and treats you as the bad person. And that has happened to me. So, yeah, I'm the bad girl. I would say that they want you to be open to open relationships, and I just can't do that. I've seen so many go into divorce. Out of 100% of the relationships that I knew were open and they called it healthy, has all ended up in divorce, and 100%, including the couple that I used to party with my husband. We tried stuff and it just, they ended up getting divorced. Like, really, the wife didn't even tell her. The wife didn't tell the husband that she had left. This is what happened. They had an open relationship. They literally had an online company. It ran itself. Oh, it was beautiful. Instead of spending time with his wife, which he used to, he wanted to spend time with someone else. And I heard about it later on, because I was their support unit. I really was. I was very, back then, I was into somebody else having an open relationship and helping out. I wanted to be a therapist, and I was trying some of my therapy attempts to help their relationship, and he was too one sided. He would say that he trusted his wife, but it got to the point where she couldn't trust him, and their relationship was no longer a trusting relationship. She told me he changed, he just looking out for number one. So that's where it is with that. So I'm going to make a video for my work, and I got to get certain things ready. But I been having some financial issues. So it'd be great if you did send me something, it'd be great. Number four, I would say that if you're wondering if he has, and you're going with the text, that's usually the biggest thing. But if he gets really moody, uh, I would say number three, and then it's like number four. Moody for no reason. Partner gets moody for no reason and wants to fight. That is another way to know that they have another person. They're the village bicycle, and they're just upset because somebody broke up with them and they don't know how to go tell you. I would say that the best way to know that you're is when you look into their eyes and you see, how they are. Those are the only four things that I know of about when you're dealing with someone who is the village bicycle. Uh, because I know that my ex would have girlfriends and they would call me up and tell me things, that was, you would have to get intimate to know them. And I would tell my ex this, and he would go, "No, you got to have proof." Honey, she knew about this, that one, and those are new things. Yeah, there were certain things that were happening, and I found out that my ex been playing for a long time. Oh, and he would get up on me on all the things if he couldn't catch me right away. I went to see The Mummy back in the 90s. It's the 90s. Let's see what year The Mummy. What year did the movie The Mummy come out?
The Mummy was released.
Oh, speaking of which, I know the. Let's put it this way: if you date a guy and you already know he has a significant other, no, he doesn't have a significant other. They know about you, and you know about them. I'm cool with that. Okay, all right. I'm not dating somebody, but I am. Because of all the shit going on in my life. But I'm really happy. That's how you know when you text them and they don't text you back for like a day or two. Oh, if they have gotten the goods already, you went to bed with them, and usually it's number two, you get number three. Because if you don't get VD right away, it'll be like number three should be number two, I think. The weather relationship goes south real quick, less than 24 hours. You get the phone call, "Oh, I just can't have a relationship deal." And I've had uh let's see, Tyler was great for like saying he would say that he was busy on his weekends with his family. And I'm like, I know his family's a big family, but not that big, not every weekend. Oh yeah, I knew his family. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Oh, God. Oh, not answering back. So, anyway, I got a text from a friend of mine. Oh, boy. God damn, he's good looking. Whew. I remember when I first seen it, I said, "Oh shit, I like to climb that." I remember when I first seen him on. This is after it was really cold at my work, and I was bundled up, and the only thing you could see are my eyes. And the manager comes in. Hey, they hired a lady. Now, where is she? Right in front of you. So I started wearing lashes. And when I first met my friend, I had come into work. I punched in, and he had already been at his working. And I walk in and I go, "Hi, how are you?" He goes, "Woo!" He got all excited. And oh yeah, you could tell that we liked each other from the first time we see. And I heard he had a crazy girlfriend. And I'm like, oh crap, that sucks. I think I'm crazier. No. Oh, so a lot of times I'm going through the list of if you want to know if you're not screwing around and your boyfriend just made you believe you got VD from the toilet, you're really fucking stupid. Oh, you. Oh, my friend's boyfriend tried that, and I said, "Oh, we need to talk to my friend's mom, the nurse. Let's go visit my friend's mom, the nurse." And then we talked it over with Janie. She was a nurse in Sudi Soto, but she knew that. And I said, "You need to break it off with your boyfriend." And she did. She told him, "You go give VD to other people." And he ended up, who was it? I guess he knocked up somebody's girl, and they took half his pay every paycheck. And they get mad and they want to quit working. And he ended up becoming manager. She got half his pay for years. Oh yeah. 18 years. The kid went to college. He got half, a certain amount of his pay each time. He went to college, I don't know how long, 6 years. So if you don't want to make a payment that's a lot, like half your pay, you might want to wear rubber if you're going to be spreading love. Oh, shit. Spreading love or VD. Oh, God. I'll be right back. I'm going to send a special picture. When I smoke weed, I'm very truthful. And Oh, if you don't answer back, I lost my touch. Oh, I guess I lost my touch. So, okay, if the next day you give it up to the village bicycle and you don't know that you have the ultra village bicycle. All right, so if you don't know if you have the ultra village bicycle and you haven't gone to bed with them. Oh shit. Well, James. So, all right. So anyway, yeah, I'm like, so here I am, well, I lost my touch. Oh shoot. Wow. Oh crap. So anyway, if you haven't given it up and he suddenly puts you what I call on the back burner, you're not going to be giving it up soon. So he'll turn around, not he'll, but the person will turn around and you suddenly were able to contact him on his, Friday or Saturday, when he gets off work. And suddenly he's returning your calls on a Sunday or when he's at work. That's when he's either thinking, that, but usually the bike riders, they're really, if they think that you have somebody else, they're going to jump in on you, and they're going to try to, get you in bed. Oh God, I'm just easy. I was just like, okay, yeah. I really thought that my bicycle rider didn't want anyone but me, but I found out that he wanted everybody. And then he got mad when this is way after the fact, after we broke up, and I'm like, why are you getting upset, dude? I'm going to put, I lost my touch. Oh, God. Oh, California. Ooh, wow. My age too. I like that. Mm. Hey, maybe I could have a long distance relationship. And another way to find out if they're like playing the field and you want to be honest and say, hey, look, I want to be the only one. I have been fished more times than a fisherman. I feel like going on dates with fishing boots. I just told him I'm looking for a relationship. He's like, saying all this stuff. I'm like, oh no, I gotta stop it at the pass. You're a player. Another one. Oh God, this town's full of them. Oh, maybe I'll send them. Let me go do the thing. Check on my channel. Your channel. All right, there you go. There you go. There you go. So I sent him the thing. He was like, are you naked? Are you this? And I'm like, no. Yes. So maybe he'll quit texting me because yeah, I get a lot of those men. They, they think I'm going to use that one for a while. How to know you're dating the village bicycle. So here I have it on here again, there's some key points, and it's not like if you want to know the red lights for when you're dating is very hard because a lot of these guys are a player. They have friends that are players, and they will get information together and they work together a lot of ways. So yeah, how to know you're dating the village bicycle is a big thing, especially if they yell at you and they go, hey, you can't text me no more, you can't do this. That means that in your relationship world and everything, I would say that it's done, and you're going, okay. And I've been okay with it. It's just, how can I say this? I rather, uh, well, I thought that, so anyhow, I, a lot of times when, I'm sitting there looking at, oh, well, uh, a good way is to let time go on. If you're unsure that you are afraid that you're going to be going well bed with the village bicycle who's been with the VD queen, then you know what? The best way to do is just say, no, I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable in this relationship right now. I feel that you have other women, and I think that maybe you should pay attention to them. And, move on from that, and that's usually, you know, what I would do. You know, I don't want to be in the competition. It's not a competition, you know. For me, when it comes to love, if the guy doesn't care about me, then hey, fine, I'm good to go. I can find someone else. I have no worries. I didn't get ugly yesterday. I just got skinny. I prayed to God for my fibroids to shrink or something, and they have pretty well. It just feels like almost non-existent. Wow. Yep, yep. So, and I've just been feeling very grateful. So, if you have a relationship with, you already gave it up and you realized, oh shit, you already went through number 3. The weather in the relationship goes south real quick, less than 24 hours, and treats you as a bad person. Or it just goes south real quick and just you're treated like you're nothing, and that's not good. That that's a big thing, to just walk away from that relationship and call it a day, because he all just going to be like scouting everyone, and that's what I figured. So what I did is, back in April I contacted my friend, Daniel. I really, yeah, and I said, hey, I'm kind of curious on everything, how everything's going, um, and he got back to me in May. So we started, because we ended the relationship in a sour note, like real bad. We text for over 2 weeks. Text, and then I said, hey, I'm picking up some pizza. Would you like some pizza? And he goes, yeah. So I pick up some pizza, and we share pizza in the park, and we shared soft drink and stuff, and we had a good time. Nothing happened. We end up parting our ways, and it was a week a week later, over a week later. It was like almost a month after we started chatting that we got intimate, and it was a good month. Yeah, so um, my that's what happened. And he wasn't a player. I was being a player, and I got played on. I think I'm more mad that I got played on, because I can't sit there and say that I didn't play, because I did. Um, but uh, I guess it's because I don't have anybody around, and I'm like, you played me. But I want a relationship, and I tell people that, and they don't want to believe me. So, you know, being that I was willing to give up everything and to be with this one person and find out that he played me, I'm like, okay, all right, you can have that one, but you won't get any more loyalty from me. It won't happen. It, I just don't feel it there. The forever friend clause is in. And that's how I feel right now when you deal with somebody who you go, okay, I played you, you played me. All right. We had our plays together already. So I'm like, it's an even field. And he decided he didn't want a relationship with me. So I'm like, okay, there we go. And I'm going to say that. So I'm going to be doing a tarot reading, seeing what will my week at work be like? What will it be? So I don't know. I'm going to pull out the card and have you guys see what will my week at work be. Whoops. It's number 1. All right. So we got number 1. That's all I'm showing on that. And this is like for communication. Oh, because it shows this card crowning it, and when you got that card crowning it, it's for communication, and there's no communication. A lot of times what I've noticed, because when I was in any relationship that was with more than one person, I told them that outright I have more than one person. That's what I pretty well did. Yeah. And when I got to a relationship where I felt it was growing. I don't mind sharing a man. Well, I have, I used to have a friend. We were common, once a month we meet up somewhere, and we would have fun. And I knew that he had another girlfriend, and his girlfriend knew about me. The reason why we met once a month is because she had her period. And that was my once a month friend, you know, and I didn't go out on him. And then things went, you know, him and his girlfriend are real serious and stuff, so they're on their own thing, you know. But how can I say this? I didn't want no drama and I just wanted to get laid. And I didn't want to have a relationship at that time. It was a different time in my life. It was like, you know, 6 months ago, things were different, it was springtime. Yeah, it was in January, February, March. Yeah. And I haven't seen that person since. I heard that through the grapevine, he's doing okay. Friends with benefits. And you know it, and you know what's going on. You know what I mean? You're not going, "Oh, I'm so angry." I get angry when somebody says, "Just have nobody else but me. But me, I just want me. But I'm the village bike. I will go to bed with everybody." That's what I'm talking about when they expect you to be the goody two shoes and they're the village bicycle. These are, I put like number one is, getting a hold of them on the weekend is hard. And sometimes it's even before you even, you know, uh, go to bed with them. Sometimes getting a hold of you give you a little red light. Do you want to deal with this on the daily? Is that a person you can call? And why don't they come out? And this is the thing, Prime. Why don't they come out and tell the people, hey, I'm screwing everyone. You know, you might want to get yourself checked out after screwing me because I was with the village whore or whatever, or even say, I was, with other people, be honest. That's all I want, man. I'm going to be, like I said to a lot of people who are what their picture are. And I'm going, wow, But then the wow factor goes out the door when you talk to them and they go, well, it's not really what I want. I put out stuff. I know what I want. I am looking for a relationship, something serious. And that's how I feel about it. I want open honesty. I don't care, if you're out screwing, the girl next door and you've been doing it for years, you got to tell me, hey, we're not friends. We're friends with benefits. I go to bed with her when I'm feeling bad or whatever, or my fart is wrong. I don't know. Just be honest. Hey, I'm dating several people from work here. I mean, really. And that's where you go with that. I just want honesty. What you get no here. I got number 5. That's 3. I would say, and that would be 5 would be you know no uh no open conversations. Um no honesty. Uh, oh, I'm thinking of Prime of Optimus Prime. Yeah. No honesty. You could tell for me, my dad used to call me the lie detector because I can tell when I work with people or when I'm with someone long enough, I could tell when they're lying. I could just tell outright. And I'm like, even in a telephone conversation, I could tell when they're lying, and you're like, oh wait, whatever. You know, I could tell when they're lying. I could tell when they call in sick. I used to know the fake callers, but I used to sit there and play with one of the managers. We were both psychic, and we used to joke about being psychic. And I said, okay, who do you think? He said, who do you think is going to be the first one to call in sick? And I go, the new little kid manager. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'd make deals. If I was right, I got steak. I ate a lot of steak because we made a lot of deals about each manager would call in, because the manager, what I told him, it wasn't psychic. I knew he had something going on with the one little girl or whoever at that moment. Oh, I'm older than you. I'm 54. I'm 14 years older than you. Yep. And that's another thing, is they put my age on the thing. I go, shoot, I got more going on than that crackhead. Jesus Christ, she's doing oh yeah. Yeah, I got more going on than that crackhead who's half my age. My father nicknamed me Omega. And between my father and I, we would call each other our nicknames, and he would always call me Omega. In fact, if he sent me snail mail, it was Omega. There was not no first name, last name. It was just a big Omega, and that's how he conversed with me. Um, Omegas in, I guess you would say, certain family lineage has what you call certain things. Our family was in Greece at that time, 3,000 years ago. I did a DNA test and found out I had minute amount of Greek in me, and we were there in that time frame that my dad stated that the Omegas started, which were actually the three women that you would visit, the three fates. You know how you visit the three fates and they make fun of them being one-eyed and stuff. The three fates that I was told were, this is a story I was told as a kid. My grandmother would spin, and I thought that they were all fake, that there was no way. Look it, I'm blonde hair, blue eyed. I would say, what are you talking, Grandma? Well, I was blonde hair, dark blonde hair is what they call it, dirty blonde. But in the sun, it gets brighter when I do go in the sun. Anyway, I was told that my family's lineage was part of, they would supply one of the women in the three, and they called them Omegas. They were supposedly really psychic and magical. All kinds. They could fart the Star Spangled Banner too. That's what I would like to do. So my great grandmother Stefania, who I'm named after, I named the channel after what my dad named me, being Omega, and my forever Pahrump, because I have on the back of my neck, I have this. I have this tattoo that I was afraid to even show my dad. I got it because my dad, I got the Omega tattoo. I've been thinking about this tattoo for 10 years since he started. It was when my father had worked for the government at one time, and it was, you have like a 35 years to keep your secret, and then you can go and tell everybody. He started talking, and I had a long talk with him about that and said, you need to shut up, because even though you can talk, it's getting scary. um, it I don't even know how long it was until I think it was it I don't think it was the government. I just think that it was his time, you know. But I had this for like ever, and they have this uh witch story about omegas, and I'm like, wow, they went way further north. Is in my family, it started in Greece, and everything was on meditation and health. Health was a big thing, you know. And in our family, from the time I was very small, we were taking multivitamins, we were exercising, we I learned a lot about health, healing, and herbs, and how to call angels was a big thing. That's why I do the angel calling now. Um, as in witchcraft, it's like to fight against evil, we have to know what we're fighting against. And a lot of times we do know witchcraft to fight against. And we're allowed to fight against evil. In the way it's presented to us, we have to present it that way too. And sometimes it's I've had to contact, I know a voodoo priestess, yes I do, and I've had to contact them many times because I got sent voodoo dolls at one time. My family's from Poland too. Poland, that's where my great grandmother Stefania came from, Poland. And my great grandfather was from Sweden. It wasn't a marriage of love by far. And he ended up pushing her down a flight of stairs while she was carrying blood soup. Borscht is blood soup, and she died in the blood soup. Oh, this is just one horrible way to die. My chicken is cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, nice family lesson. So that's, you want to know how my name was put up there? My dad nicknamed me because of Omega, you know. Our family has a lineage going back 3,000 years over in Greece. And apparently, you know, when you talk to the hear about the three fates, well, my family goes big or they go home. One of my family members was one of the three fates that gave, you know, kings and queens and everybody, you know, their things. So to be an omega is to be like better than the worst witch in the world. I don't know. All I know is lately I've been feeling I want to go to go to Alaska. I just want to like leave it all, but I can't do that. I already know. I got stuff to do here. I got to stick it out. It's sad, but oh well. No, I haven't lived in Nevada my whole life. I lived in California. I lived in Michigan. Michigan most of the time. Yeah. So, but my phone number and address is down below. And that's where you can contact me. You know, oh, you live in Michigan. Wow. Hmm. What part of Michigan? I lived in Oakland County. That's where I found out that's where people had money. I said, "Hey, we got money, Dad. We live in Oakland. We were told we got money because I went to the Girl Scout thing. We had this thing, Oakland County Girl Scouts. I'm Metro Detroit. Ah, I lived on in Detroit, I could actually see Telway Burger. We actually seen Telway Burger get robbed. Oh, they're getting robbed again. Shit. Yeah. It was actually, I brought up my son, and my daughter didn't get to get the taste of it, but it really it was getting scary. They had a guy that they thought was hurt or whatever. He had died in a snowstorm and had a heart attack and died in the back alley. And if he would have had a phone or something, he could have gotten help. This is before cell phones. Tailway coffee. Yeah. Don't get their burgers, baby. Get their coffee. I already know where there's burger. There's I used to love their burgers until I had a friend work there, and she said, "I am not going to serve you anymore." No way. They sold Telway. Eh? Oh. I watched them get dropped. Yeah. Because they kept getting robbed. Yeah. I would go there. I would get like, smoke some weed and go, God, I feel like some burger. So you would call it in and you would go, hey, yeah, it's Steph. Yeah, give me the regular. I get burgers and fries, man. I get the gut bomb, and then give me some of that Telway. Yeah, I want a little bit of sugar and double cream. Mwah. Baby, baby, I was in heaven. Oh, yeah, get the big gut burgers and stuff. Yeah, that was so big. Yeah, now I can. Yeah, double. Yeah. I get like a couple double doubles in the regular burger bag. Oh yeah. So what did they do with the Telway? Did they revamp them? What did they do? Just take the name, do something with it, do nothing, bulldoze it down? Oh hell yeah. I watched them get robbed. I was in, those people got gun. Oh my God! We used to have like we used to keep track of. We were like the two white folk in there. Hi, we're the two white folk. We had our neighbors were from down south. They were the southern folk. Oh, it's still there. Ooh, God. Oh man. They had cat. You know what kind of coffee they use? Cadillac coffee. Yep. Because I asked them what name brand, and they told me Cadillac coffee. So that's got to be in the name brand. So, yeah. Yep. Down here out west, the men are a bunch of ultra village bicycles. I want my own bike. I don't want to be sharing. Oh, but this is the thing. If you're not in a relationship and you have a scratch that needs to itch, I can see, okay, you got that once a month person and you deal with them and then they go on their merry way and you guys are both clean, then, it's between two adults. But if you're looking for a relationship and you're being told, okay, you be the good girl and I'll go and screw the whole neighborhood, that don't fly with me either. So yeah. Oh, it was BS. It was a bunch of bullshit. A lot of stuff that they were dealing with, the hookers and stuff like that were not. And then you got your regulars that did spend the money and go there. And then you had some of the people just thought that they were Jesus Christ. I remember I called my order in. Was I wanted the mixture of onion rings and stuff. They told me it would take a while for the onion rings to cook, and I said fine. So I literally gave it 15 minutes and gave back there. No. Oh, I know why. Because they had problems with the hookers at 3 in the morning. It was hard to hire somebody who wasn't going to get robbed either. You know, you're going to get robbed at 3 in the morning. You're not going to get robbed at 3 in the afternoon. But in Detroit, you never know. Yeah. Man, I can't believe it. Oh, of course I know Telway. I wanted to get it. I want a Telway shirt still. You know, they used to have a lot of little burger joints like that. You know, so those are, you know, that dying breed, like the metal, like in the 50s, how they had on the side. I remember in the 60s and 70s seeing them, and you see less and less and less of them. It's the same with the Telway. You see, there's none out here. You know, those are from the 60s and stuff. In the 60s was A&W out here. It was all that. But they still have A&W in Southgate. Oh, God. You got to go to Southgate, go to the A&W there, and do your, you know, it's like at least before they close up for the season, if they haven't already. Yeah. A lot of, I remember when the Red Wings, remember when the Red Wings swept the whole thing, and everyone's driving around with a broom, and you go on Michigan Avenue, you can feel the excitement from everybody, was like slapping hands and just doing all that and bringing the broom. We were driving around in the car and sweeping and slapping hands. It was amazing. Oh my God. Everyone was in a good mood. Everyone, you know, it was just one of those amazing things, you know? Yeah. And that's something you can't talk to people who, you know, haven't been there, you know, haven't done that, you know. So, and they look at you, well, you got a pretty cool looking, you know, sounding voice. And because when I try to talk professional, I sound like I'm English, and I'm not. I'm talking Windsor, Canada. You know, I'm just imitating a Canadian. And they all think I'm English and stuff because I like a lot of English stuff. So I'm going, oh, no, no, I've never been to England. But a lot of people think I am English, and it's like, oh, you never been to Canada, eh? I use a lot. Yeah. So yeah, it's really great. But my information's down below, and I gotta go get something to eat. And if you want to contact me, that's fine. Right now, I am not ready to uh, um, uh, have a long distance relationship. I'm looking for a relationship that is not so long distance, but you would be a great friend. You know, it's just, yeah. But you can, you know, talk to me, text me, and talk to me, and we can know each other. Maybe I might want to move back, you know, to the Midwest. You know, who knows? You know, I gotta stay open for everything because, God Lord, I'm my my love detector is on the fritz. So yeah, you know, you can text me and whatnot. You know, so okay. Yes, you can call and text. There. So you guys have a nice rest of the day. I got to go try to wash my clothes because it's my clothes washing day, and they, I know I'm gonna, well, It's lunch, but I'm going to be taking a nap after I throw my clothes in the wash. Keep a prayer in your pocket and love in your heart, and hopefully you won't have to pull your finger to fart. Bye.